and welcome back to the Unfiltered Sports Weekly. I'm the Beeb.
My name's Kev.
I'm St. Joseph.
St. Joe, did you get a new mic?
Yeah, you guys gave me so much fucking shit about the last one.
Wait.
that I went back to the old one.
Wait. It wasn't us.
No, I think you guys had a little bit to do with it. So, but yeah, there was some chatter about some issues that I had with it. So I brought the old one out and,
Looks nice.
I'm back with the gold as as all of our viewers that we have on right now can see the golden mic. And yeah, so I'm back with it. Hopefully it sounds good and you don't hear the clicking or anything like that. So, you just hear my lips smacking and my golden voice is what you hear now.
So I got to tell you, last week's episode, in my opinion, since we started Unfiltered Sports Weekly, is probably our best episode. In my opinion, it just fucking happens to be right.
Is that just because it went off the rails?
With that, but I had multiple St. Joe, means more than one.
Oh, I know.
People call me and want to argue with me about what we were talking about, and one in particular, and he's an avid listener to the show.
Okay.
Has been a guest on the show numerous occasions. You might call him a reoccurring segment on the show.
Oh.
Anyhow, so he calls me and he wants to argue. He's like, don't ever have me on there talking about, what you guys were talking about last week. And I said, okay. And I was like, all right, even if I agree with him, I'm going to disagree with him to get him to get pissed off, right? And because he's a passionate person. So he calls me, and I don't know where the conversation turned from that to politics. Now, when it hits politics, I shut down, because I'm not going to have that nonsense anyhow. And I'm not going to call him out. I'm not going to say what he said, because then we're going to start a whole new battle, and that's not going to happen, because there are people that agree with me, and then there are people that are wrong. And I'm just not going to do that. Anyhow, my point was, I wanted to let you guys know that it did hit home for some people. We did make some people think, which when we started this 2 years ago, that's kind of what we set out to do. Maybe we'll make you laugh, maybe make you think a little bit. Did we not?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
The goal of making us think happened. I like it.
I like the thumbs up thing that you're doing. I can't get mine to do it.
Yeah, I can't get mine to do it either.
It's because you guys are gay. Because I just don't know. I have the cool.
It's
I have
at
the cool
nailed
face
it with St. Joe. At nailed it with St. Joe. Now
I can message him this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Send it over. Well, it's funny that you say that you like to make people think, because I have a lot of things that have happened this week. A lot of things that happened this week that I want to make people think about. So
does it have to do with sports?
It does.
Awesome.
It does have to do with sports.
Does it have to do with?
It has to incorporate. We have another listener that I think is going to find this very, very interesting.
Is his name Lenny?
He likes to incorporate the drama. So I thought I would start it off with some drama.
I want to hear the drama.
Yeah,
Let's
bring
hear
it. Hell
I thought it would have, it's a little bit of a drama or conspiracy theory, or maybe you've heard it. I don't know. But, we all watched some football this weekend, right? And there was one America's sweetheart that was at the game again. And, it's just so nice to see her. And, God bless her. And, have you seen the article that said how much money she has made for the NFL because of her attendance at the games and everything of that nature? Have you seen this?
No.
There is a number that's been put on to her value of merchandise for the NFL. It's $300 and keep this. Now, I want you to keep this in mind for numbers. $331 million that Taylor Swift has brought to the NFL because of her involvement in jerseys and everything and viewership and everything of that nature that she has brought to the NFL. Is there anything that you know about Taylor Swift in a specific number?
Yeah, I do. The American Airlines. Is this what you're getting at?
No, not
Okay,
at all.
okay. Did you hear
Not at
this
all.
yet?
What's that?
Did
No,
you
but
hear
I
it?
want to.
Okay, fucking American Airlines just came out like in the last hour. Okay? American Airlines is setting up a direct flight. They don't have it yet. The direct flight from KC to fucking Vegas, and it's flight 1989. Okay, and then the
That
flight
makes it
back
even
from
better.
Vegas to KC is flight number 87. Give me a
Okay,
fucking break.
This just flows perfectly into what I'm going to talk about. All right. This is the Swifties out there are amazing, right? So this is going to be called the Taylor Swift conspiracy. Okay. So let me just throw this out there, and it's all over TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. So Taylor has a fascination with the number 13, right? It's just a very good number for her, right? So we are playing Super Bowl 58. 5 plus 8 equals 13, right? Taylor has been to 12 games. If she makes it to the Super Bowl, it will be her 13th game. San Francisco was a number 1 seed. KC was a number 3 seed. They're playing the 49ers. 4 plus 9 equals 13. The quarterback for the 49ers is Brock Purdy, and his number is 13. The date of the Super Bowl is 2/11, which 2 plus 11 equals 13. The flight time in order for her to get back from Tokyo to Vegas is a 13-hour flight. And if you add it all up and you do it and you make it, my favorite one at the end is if you subtract 13 from the number 100, you get 87, which equals 1 Travis Kelce. It just all adds up. So now what you just said, Kev, adding to the 1989 and the what was the other one you said? Oh, and then topping on, it's Red versus Red. It just adds up to her album, and the Swifties are taking over the world. Oh, it's a love story.
Well, I mean, if you think about it like this, in the number 13, I mean, in Greek mythology, Zeus was the 13th most powerful god. There are approximately 13 cycles of the moon each year, and there are approximately 13 fucking hookers Travis Kelce would be able to fuck if he weren't
You're
with
even looking
that
up the number 13
horse.
It's
The four
Swifties.
seasons have 13, and children become teenagers at age 13, which is how old Taylor Swift looks like she is.
Oh my gosh. It's phenomenal that you can this is all really, I think it's very funny. And
now I'm gonna do a stupid history minute on the number 13, and it ain't gonna be what you think.
oh well, here we go.
It's like the old Mitch Hedberg joke. It's like, hotels don't put a floor 13, but if you're on floor 14, you know what floor you're really on. If you jump out the window, you will die earlier.
Yes, it's right. There's a 13 in every building, but yes. But I thought that was very funny. I went around and I saw it. It was on a lot of talk shows. It was a lot of things. And the Swifties are having a lot of fun with it. And a lot of comedians, I think, are having quite a bit of fun with it as well. But
we'll have to talk more about that on our Super Bowl pregame show next Wednesday.
If the score somehow ends up and has something to do with 13, it's going to be interesting. But yeah.
I think that's how many points the Niners are going to score.
Well, it be interesting, but yeah, but how about the game, man? I mean, the games were interesting, right? Baltimore just got handed. Kansas City was definitely the better team on the field, and you got to give it to Kansas City. They played a good game, and the Niner game in Detroit. God, I feel bad for Detroit and Dan Campbell. Maybe some questionable calls on going for it, 4th and 1, 4th and 3, but hey, Detroit win the games they've never been to before, so they can't be too upset.
If I were a Detroit Lions fan, I'd be fucking pissed.
No.
You know, I don't think San Fran won that game. I think Detroit lost. You know, you give me a 17-point. I mean, that's some Jacksonville Jaguar shit right there.
Yeah, I think Detroit got.
That's some Atlanta Falcon bullshit right there.
Lucky.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they fucking, you know, clutched defeat from the jaws of victory right there. You know?
The play where the guy's the ball bounced off the guy's face and the guy caught it. What was it, Ayuk or whatever?
Yeah,
I mean, that was pretty impressive play that he kept focused to even catch the ball. But
Detroit had a play just like that though. Basically, the wide receiver stole an interception from the defensive back.
Well, that's a little different. Muscling it out's a little different than the ball being freely in the air. You know, mid-air, and Ayuk was like Superman motherfucker. You know, and
I don't know. It's not lucky, but it's a great play to keep. I mean, I thought it was equally as important of a play because it would have been an interception otherwise.
Yeah, but for the third game in a row, something happened with the Niners, so they barely won.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you guys are going to realize that the Niners are winning these games and they're not, the other team's not giving them away. I missed 3 weeks in a row. They're actually winning the game and you guys aren't giving them credit for it.
They're not winning. The Niners did not win that game.
I watched the game and they won. In fact, they rode a wave of energy through that entire second half, and Detroit couldn't stop them. So what did the Niners do that was so? If Ayuk doesn't catch that ball, they don't win. They don't win the game. I think they still would have won the game.
They wouldn't have. They
would not have won the game if he doesn't catch that ball.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
We have no idea what would have happened.
At least a 10-point swing if they don't win that.
The game would have been a different game, but we have no idea what would have happened.
Does somebody in San Francisco have fucking shit on you?
No,
because this is the third week in a row that you've come up with them. They barely beat Green Bay last week. Green Bay should have won that game. And it's not just me saying that. It's all the talking heads. You know, Detroit clearly lost that game with bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? You kick that 2 field goals, they win. You don't go for it, they win. Clearly bad decisions. The only thing
they didn't go for one. Did they not go for a second?
It was two. It was two. 2 4th and 1s.
That's how they played. That's how they played all year. That's how they played all year.
Right,
they stayed true to who they were.
Okay,
they stayed true to who they were as a team, and they lost. They lost the way they lost because they stayed true to who they were.
I will submit to you in my almost 50 years of watching the NFL, okay, that every time somebody stays true to who they are, they fucking lose. You can't play like that in the playoffs. And that's not just football. That's baseball. That's hockey. That's basketball. That you would agree, college basketball. You can't play like you do a conference play. You can't.
Well, I've been playing sports my whole life, and when you're down 17 points and you come back and win the game, you won the game. I don't care what you say. You won the game. If the other team lets you score 17 straight points and then go ahead, they actually scored more than 17 straight points. They actually scored what? 20 points, and they won the game. So they came back from way down.
They scored more than the other team.
Right. and they won the game.
No, they didn't win the game. They scored more than the other team.
That's
Detroit lost
that's
the
called
game.
Winning the game, Kevin.
Detroit lost the game. That's called Detroit
They sure
lose.
did lose the game. Absolutely, they lost the game.
Right.
But they didn't
I'm right. You're wrong.
Away. They didn't hand
They didn't hand it away. 2 4th downs where they should have kicked a fucking field goal, and they didn't hand it away. So bad coaching had nothing to do with that.
I mean, here's the only thing I can say about it. And when we're sitting there watching the game, the announcers all said, "No, this is a great decision. This is a great decision. They're doing exactly what they would have done in the regular season. This is exactly who Dan Campbell is.
Okay,
he's doing exactly what he would have done any other game."
So Ken Burkhardt and Greg Olson, they're the end all be all. That's why Greg Olson's losing his job. That was his last game called, and Ken Burkhardt is being shoved to baseball.
Well, I hate to say it, but Greg Olson probably knows a little bit more about football than you do.
Not broadcasting it.
Okay. But calling it.
And he's losing his job to somebody that's never had 1 minute on the mic.
Right.
That's right. Tom Brady, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll say this. Yes, I agree with you about those calls. About the 4th down, hey, probably should have kicked a field goal, but those weren't easy field goals. They were 50-yard field goals.
One was like a 26-yard field goal.
Oh, I guess I'm for whatever reason the short one's evading me, but the other one was longer, right? But I watched the second half of that game. After the first half was over, I was like, this game's over. And then we came out in the second half, and the 49ers scored. They scored touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, and Detroit didn't stop them. So,
well,
I think
you
the
better
Niners won the game. And not only
the
that,
Niners win the game, because if they don't, if you thought I said that the Braves won the World Series a lot,
they did.
If you thought I couldn't let that go, I will not let go if the Niners don't win this game.
I'll say this. I do not look. There was a couple plays, and you guys are going to hate me for saying this. I can tell you that right now. But Brock Purdy had 2 or 3 runs on 3rd and long to get first downs and won the game. And he made a couple passes that were 4th and short. Like, we don't know where those passes came from, and he made them, and they won the game.
Great. He did that 1 of 18 games.
Actually, he did it. Let's see. How many wins did they have, Kev? Oh, yeah, they're in the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, that.
Okay,
sorry.
So you're saying Brock Purdy is the reason they're in the Super Bowl?
I'm saying he's a very important part of the team.
Yeah, he's an average game manager.
Is he? Because he won that game for them.
Brock Purdy did not win that game.
Christian McCaffrey had something to do with it. Deebo Samuel made some amazing catches in that second half.
You go back there. You go back to that game, and you tell me, and you see those important first downs that he's got.
I'm not saying that he didn't have important first downs. I'm saying that he's not the reason they won the fucking game.
There's no way.
First downs on plays. If he didn't make those plays, they wouldn't have won the game.
No.
Right. That's right. They wouldn't have.
No. Well, no. You can say woulda, coulda, shoulda all day. Under your rationale of what we were just talking about with Detroit, you don't know if they wouldn't have won the game without those.
They would have lost the game. I know that.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
It's impossible. There's no way that you can say that. There's no earthly. There's no way.
3 possessions in that game. 3 possessions. If he hadn't gotten those first downs, 3 of them where they scored after he got those first downs. You're telling me they wouldn't win the game? That's worth 21 points. He did it 3 times. You tell me.
They kicked a field goal on one of them. So
okay,
17.
Sorry, 17 or 18 points.
Purdy made some good runs. He did, but.
Yeah, but you don't have a crystal ball just like the other side of it. They ran the ball
three times at the end of the game because they had to in order to run out time.
How many points did they need to win?
32.
Yeah.
That's how many they needed to win.
How many points 34. Were they down at halftime? And
they could have tied the game at the end of the game. They had to run the ball 3 straight plays. They could have fumbled it on any one of those and turned the game over within the last 47 seconds of the game.
I mean, that's fine, but they won the game. They scored on those 3 possessions.
Well,
they got those big first
Kevin
downs,
and I can agree that they got lucky and Detroit
There's no luck.
lost.
There's no luck involved. They won the game.
Okay, so the guy goes down.
Now you're stating your opinion as fact again. See, that's what's pissing me off.
Yeah. The guy goes down and throws a 60-yard pass. It bounces off of a guy's head.
That one was lucky.
I don't see how you can say that on Detroit's side that if this didn't happen, we don't know what would happen. But over here, because this happened, that's exactly what happened.
But they took advantage. I
don't see how you can say that. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth there.
Okay, so there was that play was lucky. Sure, and it was pivotal in the game, but I still think, in my opinion, the way they were playing, they would have won the game. That's my opinion.
There was another play on Baltimore. Lamar Jackson did it where he threw a pass, it bounced back off of another guy. He caught it and ran 9 yards down the field. So he did the same thing. But if he didn't catch that, it was surely an interception and it was a pick six going the other way. But if he didn't do that, he extended the play for Baltimore. Now, it doesn't matter because Baltimore was clearly outplayed by Kansas City.
Yeah, Baltimore got beat.
Yeah.
Baltimore flat got fucking beat.
Yeah.
Just like they fucking always do in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah. So that play,
I am not betting on them ever again
for that play.
I will still always be a person who says, as much as you say someone lost the game, the other team did everything necessary to win the game. Okay, they got themselves into a position to win the game, and they won it. Okay?
All right, hypothetically, if a game is...
They still had to score enough points to win.
So if a game is... So let's just say in those last 3 plays, they decided to throw the ball. Okay? They had the games, 34-31. It's 47 seconds left. Purdy throws the ball. It gets picked. It's an interception, run back for a touchdown.
Then they lost.
The other team didn't get lucky?
San Francisco
lost. He threw the ball to them. But that didn't happen, did it?
Yeah, but you just said then they lost. San Francisco lost. Detroit didn't win.
Well, Detroit would have won the game. Just as much as San Francisco would have
They would have scored more.
But do you see how your logic is flawed?
I don't understand how it's flawed. One team loses and one team wins. That's how the sporting world goes.
So is a Hail Mary play a lucky play or an accurate play?
I guess it depends on how it comes down, right? I mean, if it's bouncing off everybody and some guy snatches it, okay, yeah, I'll say, all right, lucky. But they were in position to score at the end of the game, so I would still say they won the game.
So an 80-yard Hail Mary play, that team is in the position to win the game.
What's the old saying? What's the old saying about success? Success is when opportunity meets what?
I don't believe in luck, so
right. So if you don't believe in luck,
I think people make their own luck, and anybody who says that they're lucky,
okay,
But
you just said that play was lucky, and if it hadn't happened, then they wouldn't have won.
It was.
So lucky. now you're speaking out of both sides here, man.
No, I'm not.
You just said that.
I said I personally do not believe in luck for myself. That's exactly what I said.
For you, but for everybody else?
Well, I mean, there's an old saying that says it's better to be lucky than good. I think that if that play doesn't happen, San Francisco doesn't win.
Okay. But
it was a low percentage catch.
Yes.
Bouncing off of another person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And catching. I don't think you could compare it to the interception or the catch that was then intercepted then that was caught.
I still don't see how it's flawed logic to say one team won the game and the other team lost the game. Why? You're saying that the other team really win the game and the other team.
No, what we're saying is Detroit had it won and they lost it rather than San Francisco winning it.
They didn't because they didn't win.
No, San Francisco wouldn't have won had they kicked 2 field goals on 4th and 1 or 4th and whatever it was.
But they did. They did win.
Detroit lost, yes.
Okay, there we go.
I'm just saying, you guys better hope San Francisco wins that game because I am fucking tired. You think I'm tired of KC? I'm fucking tired of San Francisco. They've limped through the playoffs. They have not acted like a number one seed. They had 2 tight games at home where KC's going on the road and beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give them that.
So if San Francisco wants to pretend that they're the class of the NFL with an average quarterback, above average quarterback at best, going against probably, the best in the game right now, you go bet against KC?
Right. I will say this. San Francisco has a shot because they run the ball well, and Kansas City doesn't have a good run defense.
Look like they had the best running quarterback against them in the NFL this week. Looked like they contained him pretty good.
What was the statistic in games where is it John Harbaugh? Yeah, it's John Harbaugh. In games where John Harbaugh runs less than 20 times, the Baltimore Ravens are 0-31, and he ran the ball less than 20 times.
I'm saying they contained Lamar pretty well. They had a game plan for that.
He ran the ball. He didn't run the ball. He threw it. That's my point.
Yeah.
Against the 28th ranked run defense in the NFL.
I'm just saying, on the San Francisco side, rather than stand your line, you could have an open mind about it and look at it from the Detroit side of the field.
I actually think Detroit. I think they had a lack of experience in the playoffs, and that bit them. Their coach didn't have a lot of experience coaching in the playoffs, and their players didn't have a lot of experience playing. Jared Goff did, right? But the rest of their team, most of them hadn't played playoff games.
Well, sure, they'd never been there.
Right. So they had gotten into a situation where the coach is like, well, we're just going to keep, like you had said, Kev, you can't play the same way you always play in the playoffs. You have to take what you get because that'll get you the game. But you have a coach who's just saying, nope, we're sticking to what we always did, and we're not going to take the points. Lost them the game, right? So I think
or won San Francisco the game.
Well, you would say that the coach for San Francisco capitalized off of that mistake and won the game. And that's how games are won. They capitalize off of other people's mistakes, win the game. That's how you win a game.
Or they got lucky because the other coach didn't know what he was doing. And they won the game.
He sure knew what he was doing last week. And in the first half, seemed to know what he was doing too. I mean, right?
Which one?
In the first half of the Niners game.
Who?
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
They sure looked like they knew what they were doing in the first half of that game. So, yeah. I mean, what happens in the second half? Well, halftime changes a lot of things, right? You come out, you get a little swing of momentum, and all of a sudden, they score on 3 straight possessions and the game's tied.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, the way I see it is, I think if they find themselves in the same position next year, they won't make the same mistakes and they'll win the game.
Well, I think they're going to get beat in the Super Bowl, and it's just going to be same old thing. And Kansas City is going to have another Super Bowl, and we're going to hear the whole thing about Patrick Mahomes is going to be so much better than Tom Brady and have the records, and it's just going to be ridiculous. So, I mean, it's unbelievable.
I think they are certainly on a momentum. I mean, they're playing really good right now. Kansas City is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's unbelievable how a team comes out and I guess they were considered the underdog this year, and they scratched and clawed and got to where they are, and I think it's going to be a good game. It'll be interesting, but you got to give props where it is, and they played a heck of a game, and I think it's going to be a good Super Bowl game. So we'll see.
Super Bowl's in Vegas, right?
Yeah, think about it if you're a Raiders fan. And you're sitting there and you're watching your field get painted.
Somebody
with
else
fucking 49ers and Chiefs. Yeah. They're in the same division as the Chiefs, and they were across the bay 3 years ago from the Niners.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a Raiders fan out there, just go ahead and shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah, you're not liking it. You're not liking it at all. But
well, Kev, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
I'm not. There's absolutely no way I'm betting against KC. They've gone on the road for the last 2 games and they've handled their business. You know, where in my opinion, San Francisco has limped. And they limped again. They should have gotten beat twice.
Sure is nice having home field advantage, I think, right?
And especially where you don't know if it's going to be 80 or 50, in San Francisco, with the weather out there, or if it's going to be rainy or whatever. And there's really no endearing quality about San Francisco. It's in fucking California. So pay your state tax and shut the fuck up, But I do not want anybody to misunderstand me. I am not a Kansas City Chief fan. The Lord knows on this program I've bitched about them enough. Their whole battle with Kadarius Toney pisses me off because I think that they're lying to people. However, as a football fan, I can't deny what I've seen. And what I've seen is them go on the road. Number one, they beat Miami. It was fucking negative 92 degrees there. Okay? right. Then they go into Buffalo. Great game, great atmosphere. Fucking get the W there. Okay? Yeah. You can say what you want about that. They came out there. They handled Baltimore.
They did.
They handled Baltimore. In Baltimore.
They figured out a way to contain Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You can maybe one game, one game in your, in your season where you just figure everything out, and they figured it out.
They had great defensive edge play. They really did. And they kept him contained. I keep thinking about that Sunday night game against the Jaguars where motherfucker would just extended plays and just wait for somebody to get open, and there's 30 fucking yards down and it goes to show this is cliche, but KC's defense has really stepped up.
Yeah. They're better.
They really have.
Absolutely.
They really have. And again, I know I've said this before, but it keeps them in games.
Yeah.
And then you give fucking Kelsey and Rice and those fucking guys out there that are getting open for Mahomes throwing sidearm and shit. I'm still not quite certain how he does that shit. Fucking underhand shit. Hey, take this, And then the Pacheco, he's had some good yards running the ball, So, as a complete team, now that being said, I wouldn't fuck with San Francisco's defense.
They're good.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa introduced himself to Jared Goff a couple times.
So I will say this about San Francisco's defense. They gave up 24 points in the first half. How many points did they give up in the second?
I count 7.
Right, and they didn't give up hardly any yard. It wasn't a lot of yards that they gave up in the second half either. So they have the ability to play. They also have the ability to to not show up. So
here's another great question. Has Jared Goff, has he redeemed himself?
I think Jared Goff is a much better player than people gave him credit for.
They went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. They scored 3 points against the Patriots in the most boring Super Bowl ever.
True, but they were in the Super Bowl.
Right, but they scored 3 points.
Yeah. It was bad. It was a bad showing.
They didn't win. They lost.
Well, how many years in the league was Jared Goff when they went to the Super Bowl?
Hey, that was his 3rd year.
3 years.
Kind of young guy, you know what I mean?
Because they gave him the Alex Smith treatment for a second. Like when they drafted him, they're like, "Oh, fucking bench this guy," And the Rams were horrible. And that was what's his name, McVay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he was horrible. I think that he shows up in Detroit, he gets in the right system, and I think that he is better than people give him credit for.
Well, that's the first thing that Dan Campbell and what's his nuts, the GM there, did was get rid of Stafford.
Yeah. Yep.
Traded Stafford for Goff.
Well, Shanahan's record in the Super Bowl ain't too good.
That's true.
What is he, 0-2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you remember his first one?
I don't remember his first one.
28-3 at halftime.
Oh yeah. He was the OC for the Falcons.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he was the OC for the Falcons, and then they lost to the KC a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that Falcons game with the Patriots. Jeez.
That game taught me don't talk shit at halftime because I was talking much shit.
Let me ask you that question. Did the Rams win that game or did Atlanta lose that game?
You mean the Patriots?
I'm sorry, Atlanta and Patriots.
I'm gonna go with a 28-3. Well, again, you're talking about probably the greatest team in the history of football. You know,
they came back, but it was the Atlanta literally.
Now in that game, now we're talking about a game that was what, fucking 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Now there was a lot of dumb shit. Who was the head coach for the Falcons then? It wasn't Shanahan. He was the OC. Who was the head coach?
I can't remember.
It's the guy before Arthur Smith.
White hair. Yeah. I can see him on the sidelines, and I can.
I don't know.
I can see him I can see him walking around on the sidelines, but I couldn't tell you his name. But
I don't know.
It was Dan Quinn.
Oh,
it was Dan.
Oh,
Quinn.
That's not who I was thinking of.
Yeah, it was Dan Quinn.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a number of there's a certain. This probably happened to the Lions too, and Dan Campbell as well. But there's a certain, I think, psyche that you take on when you're in such an important game. You have a big lead. It's there's a tendency to take your foot off of the gas and preserve that lead rather than add to it. Even the announcers. I'm not a big fucking Greg Olson fan, apparently, but. But I wasn't a big fan when he played tight end for the Cowboys either, or I mean the Panthers either. But but he even said it was a race to 30.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the game, because would they take 4 fucking plays to score? I mean, I just started watching the game. I'd just gotten home, and I flipped it on and I yelled to the soon-to-be world famous wife, "Hey, Detroit scored!" She's like, "That's quick."
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It was a good game. We'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. It'll be fun. But
so, Beebs, I have a question for you, and I'm going to give you the floor after this. This is the time when you try to, convince me and St. Joe that Brock Purdy is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Why would I try and do that?
Well, because you did. You done it every other week. We're just trying to.
There was never an argument where I said Brock Purdy was better than Patrick Mahomes.
Did you not lobby for Brock Purdy to be the MVP?
No, I said people should talk about him. I didn't say that he should be the MVP.
Well, they're talking about him. I think they're making a big joke and mockery of the whole thing that he's a game manager. I know everything. When you looked at all his players and the San Francisco people when they interviewed, he said, "Boy, he really managed the shit out of the game." And all the interviews were very funny. That they're like, "Yeah, he did so good at managing the game," and they made an emphasis of it, which was very, very funny. But
I will say this: he didn't do anything to lose it.
Yeah,
he threw an interception.
Yeah, but he didn't throw like 4 like Trevor Lawrence would have,
right?
Or fumbled the fucking football, or going over to Baltimore and KC, that was smooth when they came across fucking Lamar and knocked that ball out. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
He did a good job. He played a good game.
When they're getting to Lamar
I think
that,
the funniest thing that I saw is that he's making $870,000 a year. And he has a GoFundMe page or something that the faithful have had out there that they've raised over $500,000 to help him pay his rent.
What's funny is if they actually try to give that to him, he's not gonna. I doubt he takes it. But
I'm sure he's taking it. I mean, it's to help him stay and have his roommate and help him pay his rent. I mean, he'd be foolish not to take it.
I guess I'm shocked as to why he can't find a place to live on $870,000.
Because it's $1 million to live in a studio apartment out in California. It's the cost of living out there is ridiculous.
3/4 of it's taken by state fucking tax.
Well, that's
true. Yeah, it's insane out there, and
then they have
just ridiculous. But he does get a Super Bowl bonus. I think he gets a bonus for winning the the divisional championship, and he will get a Super Bowl bonus. So
here's one for our loyal listener out there. He has to give a percentage of his salary to the Nancy Pelosi fund.
yeah.
Nancy Pelosi.
I will
say,
I'll say this: I think Lamar Jackson still wins the MVP.
Yeah, I think he does too.
But I do think Brock Purdy's like a solid third, right? I mean, who else?
Christian McCaffrey, I think, has
Josh Allen, I think, is probably up there.
I think Dak probably has say in there.
Yep.
If Dak choking in the playoffs really hurts his.
Yeah, but I mean, he still had.
So what you're saying is Green Bay didn't win that game. Dallas lost it. They choked. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that Green Bay went in there and handled the business.
Yeah.
Dallas got. I'm saying that
beat. I'm saying that Dallas lost and Green Bay won.
Yeah,
but you did use the word choke.
Well, when I say choke, I mean like he didn't play good the way you would want an MVP to play.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Christian McCaffrey in my book. I would go Lamar, Christian McCaffrey, and then Tom Brady. Because he is clearly the most valuable player, I'm just kidding. But in a third, probably, Purdy,
just by wins, I would say probably third. That's what I'm just. How many touchdowns does McCaffrey have? That's my question. He has a lot.
Oh, I don't think he has any passing, because he's not a quarterback.
No, I mean, how many touchdowns does he scored?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he does have a point.
We don't do stats. You're the stats guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do stats. We're here for what? Why are we
hot
here?
Takes?
Yeah, hot take. Good. Yeah, that's a hot mic. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got over 1,000 yards, but they had 4 people that had over 1,000 yards. So
21.
Yeah,
that's a lot for a running back.
Yeah, it's second in the league. Didn't the dude in Miami have like 28?
Running back?
Yeah, that
Mostert. I don't know if he had that many.
No, he did. Because he had more this season than he did like the last 6 seasons put together.
Mm.
I guess I don't know, but I will say this, that McCaffrey scored most of their touchdowns on Sundays, or not. Yeah, on Sunday.
He scored 2.
Yeah. I mean, and he made some big plays down the stretch. So
it won't do for me either.
So St. Joe and Keb both choose Kansas City for the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say just because I like the 49ers this year, the 49ers win, but barely.
Wow. I don't think that's good, but we'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
What you're really saying is KC's going to have a big lead.
Any kind of
KC's going to have
decision. Let's see.
I don't know. What the fuck are you doing?
Nobody's watching, so it doesn't matter.
Like
but
this?
Yeah, if you get the hearts, it does it too. But we'll see. I don't know
what are you trying to make there?
I'm trying to make a heart, but my camera doesn't like it. It'll give some hearts if it doesn't. Oh yeah, see the hearts. Yeah. Fun things.
All right, I gotta go.
What else has Beeves got?
I got my favorite thing from this last week.
Okay.
I sent it to you guys. I don't think you guys noticed it. Yeah, you did. You guys replied.
I didn't.
The Kirk Cousins story.
What did I do? I didn't reply to anything.
The Kirk Cousins story.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I sent it to you. It was a tweet. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. But basically, the story goes that some kids saw Kirk Cousins on the way to school.
Oh yeah.
And the teacher says, "I don't believe you. I'll only believe you if you get a picture with him." And so they went back to where they saw him and found him. And Kirk Cousins, they're like, Kirk, can we get a picture with you, or can you come to our school and speak over the loud system or something like that? And he's like, get in the car. It's raining. He drove to their school and did a presentation to their class. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, can you think of another NFL player to do that?
I mean, Kirk Cousins is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean,
that's pretty sweet stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Tim Tebow would have done that.
Oh, I knew that name was coming up. I don't know if he would.
That still.
Maybe.
But I thought that was a pretty cool story from this past week. I mean, like, how often you show up to school and there's your team starting NFL quarterback in your classroom.
You know who wouldn't have done that? Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, that guy's a dick.
Yeah, he would ask the kids, "Do you have any shrooms, dude?"
Yeah, ayahuasca, man.
I'm about to go in my cave.
I'm about to go in a darkness retreat.
Do you think I should call Danica and apologize?
Yeah. That guy's, yeah. Let me tell you about Jimmy Kimmel and the Jeffrey Epstein list. Yeah, that guy. Idiot.
There's always an Aaron Rodgers take on this.
If I swear to God, if I ever, I don't see this a lot.
We should see if he'll come on our show.
That guy, I would walk right up to him.
Dude, Pat McAfee's got to pay the motherfucker $1 million to come on his fucking show. I mean, what I could give him some fucking peppermint kisses, or some shit like that. Not real kisses, you fucking people out there, Hershey's, and I'm fucking allergic to chocolate. Here's a funny story. So
that was quite a transition.
So the soon-to-be world famous wife, she loves the peppermint Hershey's Kisses, right? So you can't get them anymore now that it's not the holidays, right? Well, you could get them on Amazon. So I go on Amazon, to be a nice guy and all this, and I look, and 2 pounds of them is $20, but 4 pounds of them is like $28.
Right.
So I ordered a 4-pound thing because it's a better deal, right? And it comes in this big old fucking bag. Like that. I'm like, you got kisses until next fucking,
Right.
Yeah, that was a great story.
Yeah, that's funny to me.
Can I get those 2 minutes back?
Yeah. No, you can't. You can't get those 2 minutes back. Not coming.
All right. What else?
Stupidest thing I've heard all week.
Well, Kev, I want to know what your sound clip is from this week.
I don't have a sound clip. There's no sound clip. I couldn't find a good one.
I got one. I got one real quick.
Yeah.
Wait.
Anything sent to me from last Thursday to yesterday is obsolete because I had my phone off 75% of the time.
I sent it to you. I said, "Hey, can this be our soundbite?"
I didn't get that.
You don't have a stupid sport?
Send it in.
I do have a stupid sport. Yeah.
Oh,
send it in, Jerome. You know what I'm talking about? When the guy breaks the backboard in the NCAA tournament? It wasn't the NCAA tournament.
No, I didn't see that.
You don't have a sound clip. I got you.
No, he doesn't have a sound clip.
Okay, wait. Well, before you do the super stupid sport, I have a question for you.
Okay.
All right, because it's going to come up about your stupid sport, but
I'm staring at it on our text messages.
Right.
Cap.
What I'm saying is that if you didn't send it to my phone was off 75% of the time from Friday to Sunday.
Oh, gotcha.
Noonish. So if it was sent in between that time, because I started getting disparaging fucking text messages, so I was just like, I'm turning this the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? I got inappropriate text messages from certain individuals.
Oh,
that I did not appreciate. So I turned my phone off. Nobody on here. Nobody
Yikes.
I could. You guys would be amazed when it comes across my phone. A lot of it I asked for, though.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But what I do is what irritates people the most is I just don't reply.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Okay, because you're going to talk about stupid sports here for in a second, but
I do. But hang on. Before you get to that, I almost forgot. We do have a sponsor.
Oh yeah,
this week. And we need to talk about them for a second. So I'll be the screech. Always the guinea pig, never the guinea. But we want to talk about our new sponsor, Agency Designs. Yeah, they're haven for handcrafted treasures. Rick and Tony Rosenbaum pour their hearts into creating stunning, affordable pieces. Did you know they have a permanent booth at Coconut Barrel in St. Augustine, wherever that is? An artisan market featuring over 200 local vendors at Coconut Barrel. You can find a selection of their inventory available for sale every day. But if you're not in St. Augustine, don't worry. They offer free shipping across the United States. Though they're custom made, wonders take about 3 weeks. It's worth the wait. Rick and Tony keep you in the loop with visuals and updates every step of the way. Returns or exchanges aren't an option, but don't worry. They're dedicated to nailing your vision and ensuring your satisfaction. Located in St. Augustine, Florida, this husband-wife duo can't wait to craft something special for you. Check out Ancient City Designs online. Visit their booth if you're in St. Augustine at Coconut Barrel for local treasures and that special local discount that they offer. So don't miss out. Visit ancientcitydesigns.com today and discover the magic of handmade at Ancient City Designs. Be sure to tell them that Keb, St. Joe, and Beebs sent you. All right, St. Joe, what you got?
All right. Fantastic. Loving it. New sponsor. I'm excited.
That was our first red ad.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to ancientcitydesigns.com, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
It is pretty cool. Don't let your wives go there, because then you'll get on your bank account in the morning. It'll be a lot less than you had.
Okay.
You know, at least mine was.
St. Joe?
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm going there. I'm going there right after the pod.
Okay, I mean, whatever.
All right, so
it's going to be late.
I want to know,
especially
if you guys have heard of a new sport called quiet tennis.
No.
If it is what you are explaining it to be, then Monica Seles cannot play it.
No. It's actually just like normal tennis, but without the racket.
Come on.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yes.
That was
I love it.
All right. Let me tell you about another sport real quick that Bees is absolutely going to love. Okay. It's absolutely going to love. Okay. So, this comes with a story, right? So, me and Beebs and St. Joe, for those guys that don't know out there, we are a lover of the documentaries, especially like stupid fucking documentaries. Okay, so Beeps calls me up one day. He's like, I got a documentary you got to watch. And I said, all right. And I said, what is it? He's like, it's about sports, but sports you never heard of and shit like that. And I'm like,
best
all right.
Documentary ever.
Right. So I turned it on, and the very first episode is about what I'm about to get into, but I thought we'd let the people know that this is an actual fucking professional gig out here, and what I'm talking about is cheese rolling. Okay, and it originated in the rural hills of Gloucestershire, England. Cheese rolling is an actual, albeit obscure, professional sport that dates back centuries. The tradition began as a simple contest among farmers to see who could roll a wheel of cheese down a steep hill and catch it before it got to the bottom. As years went by, the event grew in popularity, attracting spectators from neighboring villages who were drawn to the spectacle of participants hurtling themselves down the treacherous hillside in pursuit of the rolling cheese. In the early 19th century, the first official cheese rolling competition was organized, with contestants vying for the title and a wheel of cheese as the grand prize. While the sport may seem bizarre to outsiders, its rich history, adrenaline-fueled competition, and sense of camaraderie have helped cheese rolling endure as a cherished tradition in the English countryside. If you didn't need another reason to figure out that the English are fucking stupid.
Wow.
Kev, one day you and I are going to go on vacation to England, and we're going to sit
on
that hill.
Compete.
I'm not going to
do that. Nice.
You can if you like.
At almost 50 fucking years old, granted I'm 48, at pushing 50 years old, do you know how many things would break on me? you know, if I were to do that, I mean, the chick is violent.
The chick that won on the documentary had a broken clavicle the whole time.
That shit is violent, man.
Dude, I am sending you the super sport for next week. I've got a good one. Now that I thought about it, I should have sent it. I got a good one.
What was the name of that documentary?
Losers.
Yeah,
and that's
I
not
know
even the best episode. In my opinion, the best episode was the chili pepper eating one.
That one was good.
Oh man, do you like stuff like that? The chili pepper? Because I just watched a crazy documentary about chili pepper eating and stuff. It's good.
This was a contest put on by the guy who invented the ghost pepper.
Yeah. So okay, so do you like South stuff Carolina. Like that?
Do I like eating ghost peppers? No.
Or like stuff
I did the
like
one chip challenge, and I about punched the guy who gave it to me.
Oh wow. Okay.
But I mean, I like spicy stuff. But there's like spicy stuff, and then there's like I got to sign a waiver so I don't kill the person who gives it to me. Spicy stuff. You know,
which is what that competition was.
And there is a local hot sauce shop here called the Pepper Palace, right?
Yep.
And I have like a fucking account there, right? Because I love a good, flavorful hot sauce on like a wing, right?
Yeah.
But like I was in the one there's one in Savannah, and I was in there, and they're all the same, right? So I go in there, and a guy who'd never been in there was like taste testing the stuff, and I'm like, hey, you should taste that one over there. And it's like in a black bottle. It's got a fucking waiver right in front of it.
Yep.
And then they're like, what's the waiver for? And I was like, so you don't sue them when it kills your
so
throat.
You don't die
like that. And he goes over to him. He's like, I'd like to try this one. And I look at it seemed to be world famous. So I'm like, let's go, let's leave. He's going to try to find me later.
Yeah. Well, a friend of ours is in a new documentary on Hulu called Super Hot, and it's pretty cool, and it's fun to watch. We just watched it all, and it's all about chili heads, and they all go and eat and do all these super hot peppers, and it's crazy, and
Ted, Speaking of documentaries, I watched one that you would love.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on Tetris.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't think it's the same one you're thinking of because it has a different name. But it was on, what was that? It's on Tubi.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
And it's called...
I watched the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's called Ecstasy of Order, the Tetris Masters. Oh. And it was fascinating. I have to tell you. Did you guys know? And this is kind of, I know it's gaming, maybe not sports related, but did you guys know Tetris is the most played game ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play it every day.
Right. And so, the original Tetris for Nintendo, do you know how many levels there are? Do you know what the maximum score you can get on Tetris? Nintendo.
Yeah, the kid just beat it.
Well, you can't beat it.
No, there's a kid that got to the end. There is an end.
No. Well, I'm talking about the score. What's the highest score you can get? Because they actually don't have a turner that will actually turn it to the next point.
I would gather 900,999.
Yep. 999,999.
Yeah. There is a level though that it won't go. A kid like in the last 3 months just beat it, like he beat the game. No one had ever beat it before, and he got to where there was no more or numbers of how it counts the lines,
right?
Yeah, he got to the highest number that they wouldn't count any more lines.
Okay,
wow.
So the highest level that anyone's ever recorded themselves on TV or on video doing was level 30.
See, I don't think of it as levels. I think of it as lines cleared.
Right. So lines cleared is different than levels. So in the game, there's levels and there's lines cleared and then there's points, right?
Right.
Which are all different things.
Right.
But the highest point total you can get is 1 under 1,000,000. The highest level anyone's ever traversed is level 30 because at level 30 the pieces drop so fast you can't move them. Right?
Well, you need to get your shit to the bottom. You need to have your shit cleared.
Right. But even so, I watched the video on it. The guy makes it to level 30 and everything just drops so fast that he can't do anything. So, but the theory was you couldn't do anything in level 29 because everything's dropping too fast. But the guy took video of himself getting to level 29 and then clearing it and getting to level 30, and then he couldn't do anything. It's just it was fascinating. Just facts I thought you would find interesting.
Yeah. No, I Tetris. I remember when I was a kid on the original NES that when we got Tetris, it was like I remember my mother shoving me out of the chair and going, "Let me have a crack at that."
Yeah, and that's actually the story.
A true family game.
The other, I think you would really like that documentary. Once again, it's called Tetris Ecstasy of Order: The Tetris Masters. You would really enjoy it. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long. It's on Tubi, and it's free.
Be careful typing that into Google.
Yeah, I would just type Tetris documentary. It'll pop up. But you're right.
What
I actually thought that when I saw it. I was like, well, at least I typed Tetris in and not the other thing. So, but
what shouldn't we put in Google?
Ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. That's I love Tetris. That brings back some good old memories.
I mean, if you like that game, it's worth watching that because in that show, they bring in all of the best Tetris players of all time ever, and they play in a tournament.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Insane. But
so that's another thing. Is gaming a sport?
You're talking esports?
No.
What the fuck? Somebody explain to me what an e-sport is.
Electronic sports.
Like is PGA Tour 2024, is that an e-sport?
Yeah, people play against each other on that game, yeah. For money.
Like Madden football and do all that.
But in their pajamas.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not actually a sport, but they are playing a game for money.
What about Wii bowling?
You ever bowl a 300 in Wii bowling?
I have, actually. I took a picture of it. I have it on my phone. I sent it to my son and then he sent me a big middle finger.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of my favorite games on the Wii, actually, was Wii bowling.
Yeah. I like the arrows, or the bow and arrow.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
And then the boxing's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But the golf is hard.
The golf is hard.
Yeah, I got bored with golf. I go to the bar and play Golden Tee.
Yeah. That's my next game that I'm going to get in here somewhere, a Golden Tee.
Anytime you want a lesson on how to play Golden Tee, dude, out of the three of us, I would guarantee you I've been in a bar more than the three of us and play. I mean, I would suck like $60 into that thing a night. To play in that thing, and it's back then it was $5 a round. Now, who knows how much it is now? It's probably like $8 a round.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun game to have in a game room.
That'd be great. That'd be great. My buddy of mine used to live in an apartment complex that had like a game room, and if you lived there, like Golden Tee was free. And we would go over there with like a 12-pack of beer, and when are you his wife would call, when are you coming back up here when the beer's gone?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we got anything else, Cap? St. Joe?
I don't.
No. I'm just got a week off for the football. Got the Pro Bowl, which nothing special.
Hey, Evan Ingram was elected to the Pro Bowl because somebody dropped out, so he's going. He's Pro Bowl bound.
So was Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
Yeah. Super. The Pro Bowl is just dumb.
Why isn't Gardner Minshew on the MVP list?
Aren't they actually playing a game, or is that just a?
No, it's flag football.
Yeah, they play flag football, and the best part is dodgeball.
Yeah,
that's the best part. Yeah, I actually like this format better than the Pro Bowl.
How about this question? Is dodgeball a sport?
It's more active than fucking esports.
Yeah.
Anything that you can do in your pajamas is not a sport.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay.
That's like those fucking people calling pickleball a sport.
Oh, you don't want to get the
I'm just
pickleball
kidding.
community upset with you.
Oh yeah,
No,
it's like
that is a pack of rabid dogs.
That's like having the Swifties upset with you.
Right.
You don't want that.
Yeah, or the feminists.
Oh boy. Yeah. No.
I actually have a funny story from this weekend.
Okay.
About the feminist?
No, about pickleball.
Okay.
So I had a certain friend visit me this last weekend, and we went and played golf, right? And he's like, all right, Beeb, you can choose the golf course for this day. I said, okay, sweet. I found a nice golf course, booked it, right? And we get there, and it's in a retirement home in Lakeland, a retirement home or retirement village in Lakeland, Florida, right? When we get there, it's one of those retirement villages where it's double wides, right? So on the golf course, there's double wides everywhere. Problem number one. Problem number two. When we arrive, I find out it's an executive course. Do you all know what an executive course is?
Yeah, it's par 3 course.
Yeah. I didn't know it was an executive course. I thought it was a full-size course.
So your course choosing has been revoked?
Yeah, pretty much. But on top of that, the people were super nice. Like they were the nicest people we talked to all weekend. And he was telling us, or he told my friend while I was getting the car, he's like, yeah, well, because the pickleball courts were full. I mean, they had pickleball courts and people, there was a tournament going on. There were so many people on those courts. And he's asking him about it. He's like, I don't know why we haven't removed the pickleball courts. And he's like, well, why not? He's like, because we've had people like severely injured playing pickleball, like old folks. Right. Huh. And he's like, we've had broken legs, we've had broken arms, broken ribs, broken clavicles. I mean, you would not believe the amount of times we've had people get injured playing pickleball. And I'm like, it really is the sport of champions. Right.
So I have a question. Why did you need a cart for a par 3 course?
Man, because we're all in our fucking 40s, man. You know, fuck that walking bullshit.
Because when you're out there and the old folks are playing behind you, they do not like slow play.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
They do not like slow play.
So here locally for the Jacksonville listeners, if they remember a golf course at Orange Park Country Club years ago that closed, in there, they didn't close the community, just the golf course and the club, because I guess it went bankrupt. That clubhouse has been bought out of bankruptcy, and they are going to put there a pickleball like park.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it is really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really popular.
Yeah.
Dangerous, apparently.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting while we were there, we were crossing through the neighborhood, and everybody had roped off the road in front of a house. Somebody had died while we were playing golf. I feel bad laughing about that, but it was just an interesting little. We had quite an adventure that day. We'll just put it that way.
Gotcha.
Nice.
All right. What else?
Not much, man. Not much else. Well, what else is coming up? I can't think. Next couple of weeks, I got to get in all the eating I can because Lent's coming up, and oh man, it's going to be tough. What are you
giving up for Lent?
Lent?
Yeah, what are you giving up?
The bears.
There's okay. I got to figure out something, but yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. I got to figure out.
Is that one of those things where you just write a list and then flip a coin, or what do you?
No, you got to give up something as a sacrifice that you have to.
No, I know, but do you have a list of sacrifices that you're going to make, and then you just kind of flip a coin on them, and figure out which one?
No, it has to be personal for you, so you have to.
All right, you have a list of personal things. That's what I mean.
Sure, whatever you come up with that.
I have a question for Beebs, but I don't want to get hammered, so I'm gonna ask you after we get off of this. Remind me. to do that. It's a bit controversial.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
we want controversial.
Yeah, not that. No, you don't want this attention. You don't want this attention. So
why don't you ask your Bible thumping friend that you had the conversation with at the beginning of this podcast?
Well, it's kind of about him. So
okay.
I'm gonna ask. Beebs is gonna go. I need to call him. When I tell Beebs what's up, he's gonna be like, I need to call him right now. It's fucking 10:15 at night. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we haven't done this in a second, and I'm gonna list off the members of Unfiltered Studios here real quick. So about half an hour. Wake up, all right? Yeah. So we do have on Thursday. This is in no particular order, okay? On Thursdays, we do have Finding Your Way with the Beebs. If you don't know what that's about, tune in. We have a Stupid History Minute. If you can't figure it out, you're an idiot. Pedals of Support on Tuesdays. This program on Wednesdays. On Mondays, kicking it off every week is Nailed It with St. Joe. We do have Cindy over at Hypno Wellness. Gomez over at the Sleepy G Show. Movie Lovers Unite. If you love movies, then you should unite. We have the podcast that was made for me. It's called How to Be Less of an Asshole. We do have the Story of podcast, great history podcast there. The Fandalorians, Teachers by Day, Nerds by Night. We do have the Geeky Dad family of podcasts with the Geeky Dad podcast, the Geeky Dad After Dark podcast, and the Multiverse Kids Show. Political comedy show, FDR's Wheelchair, and the With Jay Burke show, rounding out Unfiltered Studios. Now, if you're a podcast creator in search of the perfect network to call home, why don't you give unfpod.com and check it out over there. We'd love to talk with you and see if we can help you out.
Well done.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, guys.
No.
All right. We hope you guys enjoy your week. Enjoy the Pro Bowl games. Enjoy this off week. Yeah, you know what? Go watch some fucking college basketball. Yeah, that's what's getting ready to happen.
Yes,
yeah, that's what you should do. This week. New bracketology came out tonight. And you know what? The Gators keep popping on, popping off, popping on, popping off, popping on, popping off.
Yes.
So go watch some fucking college basketball, because in 2 weeks, guess what? Pitchers and catchers report.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so
pitchers and catchers. And after our conversation last week, that has a whole new meaning.
All right, and if you're out there and you have any controversial topics that you want to talk about, call St. Joe over there, and he can talk to you about travel plans. And today is actually, today the 30th of January, is actually National Plan Your Vacation Day. So the Nailed It Travel Company could probably help you out there. So I fit another sponsor in there. So anyhow,
absolutely.
I hope you guys have a good week. For St. Joe, for the Beebs, my name is Kev. We'll catch you guys next week.
Catch you on the flippity flop.